All right, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Team Prime. Thank you guys for joining us on this call. You could be doing anything right now, but you chose to spend your afternoon or evening with me, and I feel so special. No, truly, I always miss hanging out with the team and really connecting with the team. So for the next few minutes, guys, I just need you all to lock in because today I want to talk about momentum. So if you're on the call yesterday, or if you weren't on the call yesterday, we actually have a recording on our YouTube. But if you're on the call yesterday, I talked about consistency, right? I talked about mastering the mundane. I talked about how success is usually a lot less exciting than what people think. So today, I want to talk about, well, what happens when that consistency that we spoke about yesterday, that boring, mundane consistency, starts creating momentum. See, momentum is exciting because momentum, I truly believe, is one of the most powerful forces in business, not just this business, but in business alone. And the funny thing is, most people don't even recognize momentum while it's happening. I was taught this recently. They only recognize it after it's gone. And I know maybe a few of you guys have felt that way, whether it's in this business or something or another business. But think about it. How many people wish they would have bought Bitcoin sooner, right? Or real estate back in, I don't know, 2003, 2004, right? How many people wish they would have invested earlier? How many people would have wished that they joined a company when it was smaller? You know, maybe a cafeteria worker at SpaceX, right? Now a millionaire. See, everybody sees opportunity clearly in the rear view mirror, but a good friend of mine says you have to rip off the rear view mirror. Okay, that's what she said. Very few people recognize it through the windshield, okay? I'll say it one more time. People see opportunity clearly in the rear view mirror, right? When it's behind them. But how many people, not a lot, can actually see it right in the front through their windshield? Most people will miss opportunities because they said no. And they'll also miss opportunities because he said, I'm good. How many times have you heard that, right? I'll wait. And by the time they're ready, someone else is already standing where they wanted to be. I said this on the call yesterday. The biggest position in the company is where you are at right now. The best position in the company that will ever happen is where you're at right now. That's why timing matters. Not because timing guarantees success, but timing rewards action. Okay? Right now, we're still opening up market. And we're still looking for leaders. We're building systems, strong systems, some of the best systems you're ever going to experience in your life. We have the best people building the best systems, and we're laying the foundations. And within a few short weeks, we will have fully completed 360 our AliNation Prime system. So the people who get serious now are creating options for themselves 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now. See, most people overestimate what they can do in 30 days. We all know this, right? But they underestimate what they can accomplish in 3 years of being consistent. I learned that the future does not belong to the people that are the most talented. I had a good friend named Bruno Mars, right? And just because he was talented, it didn't guarantee him anything. He struggled for 8 years, okay? But because he stayed in the game over 8 years, after everyone else got distracted, he got discovered and boom, biggest star in the world. One of them. You can argue with me, okay? But here's the thing, guys. The winners aren't always smarter. They're the ones that are just kind of like stubborn. They just stay here. They're still here, all right? Now, let me tell you what has me excited about this opportunity. Now, there's a lot of things. But today, in a couple hours, we have our Wednesday opportunity call that is disruptive. We've tweaked the opportunity call so it's like no other opportunity call. It's going to be roughly around 30 minutes, jam-packed. It's going to put you in a frame of mind that it has never been done in the history of network marketing, and it's featuring none other than Sean Tiberio. If you know who that is, he's a sexy dude with the cowboy hat on, okay? So what do you want to do? Well, you want to get guests on. You want to get prospects on. You want to get curious people on because you never know which presentation changes someone's life. You never know which event can actually change someone's life. You may hate event, but it might change someone's life. You never know who is one decision away from becoming your next leader, right? Someone could be just chilling on the side, quietly watching you, waiting for that right moment. And I'll tell you, people are watching more than you think. Some of you are posting on social media and getting frustrated because you have one like, one comment. But guess what? You have 800 people watching you. They're watching your consistency. They're watching your consistency because they've seen you in the past jump from product to company to company to company to company. They're going to say, are they going to stay? Are they going to be consistent? They're also watching your attitude. Is this person the same person he was last year? She was last year. They're watching, is this person still going to be here? See, I think the strongest message you'll ever send to anyone isn't what you say. It's going to be the fact that you're still standing, that you're still here, and you're building, you're believing, you're moving, you're recruiting. And I'll tell you what, let me share something that happened yesterday while I was doing some IPEs. I'm here in Salt Lake City with Calorie and Jenny and Precious, and, absolutely learning so much from, Calorie and Jenny. And the market here in Salt Lake City. We just had Shiloh here with us, and absolutely this market is taking off. So if you have people in this market, let me know, because But there was a gentleman that sat down with me, and he had absolutely no expectations. He wasn't looking to buy anything. He wasn't looking to join anything. He was just kind of curious. But after a few minutes on the device, he looked up at me and said, "I don't know what this thing is doing, but my feet feel alive." I'm like, "What? Your feet feel alive? What does that even mean?" Now look, whether somebody becomes a customer or not, it's not even the point. The point is that person experienced something. Okay? When people experience something for themselves, guess what happens? Your conversation, it changes. This is why I love IPEs. And don't get me wrong, we have one of the best online, ROI7, trainings and systems in the world. But I love IPEs. But that's why I love IPEs, because the conversation is always different. Because every demo is an opportunity for somebody to create their own story. I'll say it one more time for the people in the back. Every demo is an opportunity for someone to create their own story. It's not our story, it's their story. And we're also building something, guys, behind the scenes. When I say we, I say our leadership, our team, we're building something for you, for this community. And it's going to be an online community with new tools, new systems, cutting edge, state of the art, things that don't even look like they're from this earth, the kind of community building frameworks that have helped organizations generate billions of dollars in revenue. What does that mean? What we're building is not theory. We have some of the best builders of these communities that have built before communities online that have generated billions of dollars, billions with a B, okay? So here's what I've learned. Tools, although, look, I love our tools. Am I biased? Of course I'm biased, because, we created the tools, right? Precious, the team over at Mint, right? We created the tools. I love tools. But guess what? Tools don't build businesses. People build businesses. Can I get an amen, right? Systems don't change lives. It's great to have, but you know what does? It's the people who work the system. Those are the ones who change the lives. See, the opportunity that we have is never bigger than the activity that you're going to do. So some of you are sitting on your butts wondering, well, God, maybe this isn't a big opportunity. No, this opportunity is huge. But you know what is never bigger? The activity. And leadership starts with example. So if you've ever brought in anyone to this organization, you are a leader. And it doesn't matter what rank you are. Right? I don't believe leadership is determined by ranks. I don't believe leadership is determined by titles. I don't even believe leadership is determined by recognition. Leadership, in my opinion, is determined by example, right? Is your team waiting to hear what you say next? If your team's not waiting to hear what you say next, my friends, you're leading nobody. I don't care what level you're at. If your team is always waiting to see what you do next. If you want your team posting, then you got to post. If you want your team inviting, then you got to invite. Look, if you didn't spend 20 minutes calling people to get on this call, this fire call, I'm a little biased, but if you didn't spend 20 minutes inviting people to get on this call, your team's not going to do it. If you want your team attending calls, you need to attend the calls. If you want your team to attend the conventions, you have to attend the conventions. If you want your team to build communities, guess who has to build communities? You. How many of us heard the speed of the leader becomes the speed of the team? We call it our bumper sticker moment. And speaking of community, look, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers here, okay? Speaking of community, if we want to build a world-class community, guess what we got to do? We got to support each other. That's right. I'm talking to some of y'all. Because some of y'all are on social media and you see your fellow community members posting and you're not sharing their posts. That's right. You're not sharing their posts. You're not liking their posts. You're not hurting their posts. You're not commenting on their posts. You're not celebrating their wins. You're not commenting on their content. You're not encouraging people. You're not even reaching out, and you're not building relationships. But I'll tell you what, guys, nobody builds anything great alone. Now, and you wonder why people leave. You know why people leave? Because people stay where they feel connected. People will only stay where they feel valued. People only stay where they feel seen. And every single one of us on this call can contribute to that culture. In fact, yesterday during another IPE, that's right, I do multiple IPEs, right? There was this lady, she came in, and honestly, she looked like, in Hawaii, we say hamas, okay? She looked exhausted, okay? She looked hamas, right? And you could tell life was just super weighing on her, right? She sat down, tried the advice, she stood right up, and she was smiling and said, look, I've never felt this relaxed in a long time, okay? You know how good that made me feel? Now maybe that doesn't sound like a big deal to everyone. Because I know some of you all had some crazy, testimonial experiences, right? Like people waking up from the dead, the people's dog ran away, came home, right? Or whatever. Like some of y'all had some crazy testimonials. But to me, hearing that might not have even been a big deal to me, but it was a big deal to her. See, and that's what we can't forget. Sometimes we get so focused on ranks, commissions, bonus. How much money did I make today? I'm guilty, right? And growth that we forget we're dealing with people. We're so focused on our own growth that we forget we're dealing with real people. You know what I hate in this industry? When people call me up and go, I got one. What do you mean you got one? Well, I got one? Guys, these are lives, human beings, people looking for hope, people looking for answers, people looking for better quality of life. That's why every single person and every single guest on your call matters. Every single demo matters. Every conversation matters. All right? And that's why belief matters. All right? So I'm going to talk about belief and then we're done. Okay? And I'm not talking about belief in the company and I'm not talking about belief in the product. I'm talking about belief in yourself because the biggest obstacles in the marketplace, it's a conversation that you're having between your own ears. Zig Ziglar, right? So many people are waiting to feel confident before they even take action. Guys, that's backwards. Confidence comes from taking action. Confidence comes from repetition. Every time you do what you said you're going to do, confidence grows. Okay? So every message you put out there, that's the seed you're planting. And it's sad because very few people fall in love with planting seeds. All your follow-ups, they're seeds. Your presentations, they're seeds. You know what? I get frustrated with seeds. I just wanted to grow. But see, every seed is attached to your harvest. That's your explosion, guys. That's why ROI7, our website, AliNationPrime.com, is so powerful. Not because it's complicated, that's the opposite. It's simple. If you don't have your device yet, guess what? You have AliNationPrime.com. Send 2 videos, send 2 messages. If you have your device, do 2 demos a day. That's it. You don't have to do 10, 20. ROI7 isn't testing whether the system works. It's testing whether you're willing to work the system. Okay? Here's one more thing I'm gonna put some people on blast. Some of y'all aren't sharing this call. You got to go out there and share this call. Some of y'all aren't even sharing this post. You aren't sharing your teammates' posts. And I'm not scolding y'all. I'm just trying to help somebody win. All right? We have our opportunity call today. So you have another chance. Promote our opportunity call with Sean in 2 hours, guys. Hour and a half right now. Okay? Guys, promote each other. Too many people are trying to build a huge organization while acting like they're their own team. Team of one. Nah, it does not work that way, guys. Unity will create momentum. Momentum will create belief, and belief creates action. Action will create the results that you want in order to create the stories that you need to, I almost swore, to bring momentum. Because I know many of us believe God has a purpose for our lives. Is this not true? How many of y'all believe God has a purpose for your life? But here's the thing. Faith alone isn't enough. God can open the door, but he ain't going to push you through it. You have to walk through it. And at some point, faith has to put work boots on. Right? Right? Work like it depends on you. You can pray like it depends on God, but work like it depends on you. All right, guys. Look, so keep moving, guys. Keep building, and let's make today count. Right? You're writing that story, and your story can start today. Right? Drop an I'm in into your WhatsApp group, into your Facebook group, whatever group you're in. I want to see an I'm in. Thank you for those that dropped an I'm in yesterday, but I want to see the most I'm in so I know who's in, so I know who I'm going to be working with. Because your future, your family's future, they're not waiting on a miracle. They're waiting on you to decide if you're going to do this after this call ends. All right? So I'm going to see you guys in an hour and a half on the next call. Guys, check out our Ollie Nation Prime announcement to see the Zoom link and hear one of the most amazing speakers, Sean Tiberio, share his testimonial and our opportunity briefing. Take care, take charge. God bless. Love you all. See you guys all at the top and on the next call. Bye-bye.